Alright guys, what's up? Welcome to The Daily. Not that much impressive, but yeah, The Daily. So yeah, if you haven't seen the race video with The Daily, go back, pause the video right now, and go check that out. Okay, hopefully you checked out the race video. Should have been pretty good. But yeah, what have I been up to? Working on the car. RSX is down, so I figured you guys wanted a video, but I can't do it in the RSX because it's in the garage. I haven't really ordered any parts yet, just working on the wiring in the engine bay, just getting that a little cleaned up. That's probably all I've done so far. Other than that, been up to, oh, well, it's nice outside, so started out on the 2 wheels. I've been just designing some parts for a couple people that need parts designed. The shop asked me, they were like, I need to design the 2 parts I've kind of been working on so far. I've been working on a budget shifter. Basically with the RSX shifting system, you can't just drop in a box and the situation is fixed. People just think you can just buy a box and on your shifter is now race car. No, it does not work that way. Like, your shifting system is like basically like a chain link system. So if you replace one link in the chain, your shifting is no better. You have to replace everything from here all the way up to actually make the shifting better. But the problem is doing that on a budget wise that's actually affordable, because like the shift setup in my car, I'm not gonna say it's bad, but I will say it's overpriced, if that makes sense. For what it actually does, I don't think it's worth the money that was spent on it. I'll say that. And so basically, yeah, I've been trying to design my own shift linkage parts and everything. Yeah, that's basically it with that. Also, this chick hit me up. She lives in, I don't know, Midwest somewhere. She has a fully built car, but basically where she's from is they have exhaust restrictions, I guess, where you have to have a stock muffler. It can't be over a certain dB. Basically, it sucks to have an aftermarket exhaust, just period, for, I guess, with her. But she was like, hey, well, you know, like, I'm tired of losing power with my exhaust setup, and I want something that still keeps power but is still quiet and looks stock, because basically, I guess, they check even the muffler. Like, if you don't have an OEM muffler, you're not gonna pass. Like, so what she said she did was, she was like, hey, I have a 3-inch exhaust system, but I ran it to an OEM muffler. And I was like, okay, cool. So, you know, like, well, what was up? She was like, but the car didn't make any more power. And then I was like, well, you know, it probably isn't gonna make much power, because if you think about it, just because you change the pipe to the muffler, you still have, you know, this shitty ass restrictive setup coming out, you know. But the only way to do that is to actually open the muffler up and actually make some more flow, which will then create more power. But the problem is, when you open up more flow, it's also going to be louder, but we can't do that. So what I've been doing with her was, basically I've been doing a lot of, I guess, sound dynamics, basically working with the muffler and seeing how sound waves react coming through the muffler. And basically what I've done is I've designed a quieter muffler that still flows fairly well, if that makes sense. And I tested it on my car. I've been working on this for a couple months. I kind of didn't want to say too much about it at first, because I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that, because I don't think it's possible. So basically what I did was I used the 3-inch system to a stock muffler, redesigned basically the internals of the muffler, so when you look at it, it looks like a stock muffler. I don't have any like video footage of it on my, obviously on my GoPro, but I do have pictures of it on my car. I can scroll in maybe at the end of this or whatever, maybe now. But yeah, it's basically, it looks stock. It sounds stock. I mean, it's a little tiny bit louder than stock. Cause I'll say, like, my car was loud as hell when I kept it straight pipe. But right now, when I went back to the stock system, if my car was maybe a 10 at first, and now it's maybe at a 2, where stock is 1, I would say. So it really cut down the sound. It's not really any louder than a stock exhaust, and I still kept pretty decent power out of it too. I mean, the only thing, I think I lost 3 horsepower up top, and that was coming from straight pipe to this exhaust, which is pretty good. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at with that. What else? This video might be kind of long, but trust me, this was a well thought out question. One of my subscribers was like, hey, well, you know, like, if you could give me some build advice, like, I know you've built a lot of cars, you've done a lot of setups, you know, but like, what advice would you give me basically to build my car? Like, if I don't know anything about cars and I want to know how to build a car, what's your most important build advice that you could give me? And I was like, that's a pretty good question. I feel that, I mean, a lot of people may not know that, or maybe they don't know how to build or what to look for or how to go about it. So I was like, yeah, this would be a good topic to actually talk about. So I guess my number one thing, I guess my biggest pet peeve, I guess, for build advice would be to build for you. Like, build realistically, I guess, if that makes sense. If you daily drive your car, or you know, and build in your budget, if that makes sense too. Build budget and realistically. If you're in college and you work minimum wage and you only work 10 hours a week, I don't know if you know, a race engine with, you know, 30 PSI, you know, should be on your list, if that makes sense. Because, I'm not saying to kill people's dreams or anything, but I'm just being real with you. Like, obviously that's out of the budget. So you should probably focus on something that's actually like, hey, let's maybe focus on an intake, or, you know, maybe let's focus on maybe just even lowering springs. I mean, if that's in your budget, then I would say focus on something like that. Like, don't waste your time looking up high compression piston builds and all this other stuff, because that's not even, you know, plausible. Like, straight up, like, that's not even close to what, that's not even real. You know, like, you're wasting your time even looking all that stuff up, you know? I mean, it's good for knowledge, but if I were you, I would look up things that, like, I actually could afford. Like, if I had $500 and I said, hey, I'm gonna make this $500 go as far as I possibly can, you know, and that's fine. If that's all you have is $500, then hey, then focus on things that are under $500 that maybe you could do to increase your car's performance, or, you know, something along those lines. Oh shit. Hey, please. Yeah, but I'm in the daily. I'm not worried about it. So natural reaction with the black guy. See the cop freak out. Not doing anything wrong. 5 mile an hour under. Still. Yeah. Okay. But yeah. Back to it. Number 2. I guess I would say number 2. What's probably the number 2 maybe thing is actually maybe know what you're installing, and don't go off of what he said, she said. And I feel a lot of people build that way, and that is like not the way to build. Like, just because, oh, I see your kids every day. I saw Johnny on Instagram. He ran this and he did this and this and this, but you know, but one, Johnny doesn't live where you live. Johnny doesn't have the budget that you have, and Johnny probably used a different dyno, so his numbers are probably going to be slightly different than what you got. So I would say, you know, actually know what you're installing. You know, like look for actually a certain part that actually makes sense for you. Like, just because somebody else did it, that may not fit your build, you know? And a lot of people, I guess me, how I can stump people, a lot of people, you know, like, for example, I have kids, you know, people come to me every day, you know, I need an RBC. Oh. Hold on, telephone call. Hello? Hey, let me call you back. All right. Okay, back. But yeah, yeah, I have kids come up to me every day, say like, I have to have an RBC on my car. And, you know, my question for you might be like, well, if you need an RBC, well, what drew you to that, I guess, point, or that conclusion that you need an RBC, you know? Well, I don't want my stock manifold. Well, why? Well, what's wrong with your stock manifold? Or maybe ask the question as, where does your stock manifold flow good, and where does your stock manifold flow bad at? You know, is an RBC your best option? You know, basically look at your other parts. You know, does your build need that? You know, and I've had a lot of people go, well, the face people make is like so good, you know, because they'll be like, oh, well, I really don't know where my PRB flows are. I'm not really sure why I would need that. I mean, well, you know, something might need to ask yourself before you go spend $1,000, you know, to do something. You know, that might be a good question for you. So, you know, things like that. You know, don't just go off of because I saw this, or, you know, actually know what you're doing to your car. I guess that's basically the point of this, is actually to have a reason for it. Say, you know, I need this power, or I need this, or I need that, but understand why, I guess, basically, that you need that certain part, you know? Don't just say because it looks cool, or because I want it to look this way, or I saw so-and-so did that. Like, that's not how you build, and that's how you're building for someone else. You're not building for yourself, I would say that. That's basically what that boils down to, is, you know, build your car for you, build it within your budget, you know, have realistic dreams, I guess, or goals, I would say, something real, because that's the kid that's gonna mess things up. Is you don't want to race the kid that is sitting here like, okay, I have X amount of money, I want to go as fast as possible, and, you know, maybe this is what I want to do. I want to invest my money on these 3 parts, and I want these 3 parts to be really good. Instead of the guy that just says, oh, well, like, I saw this one kid online that had this, and, I don't know, he had this, and this done to his car, and it went fast, but, you know, but in reality, you don't even know what other stuff he had. You just basically, you know maybe slight of what he had or something. And something like that. And 2, I guess my last point would be, maybe build advice, is do it right the first time. That might be the biggest thing, is do it right the first time. I have no idea how many people come up to me and say, well, I'm gonna buy this just for now, and then I'm gonna upgrade it later. What? Does that make any sense? You're gonna buy something now and waste money on a shitty part when you could just do it right first time. I don't know. I just feel like that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, even not to call people out, people on Racelands, I heard that all the time. I'm gonna buy these for now to get my car low and make it handle worse, but then I'm gonna go buy nice ones later. Why don't you just save your money and get the nice shit from the jump, dude? Like, for real? But I guess, I don't know, some people do that. I feel that's a total waste of money. Don't waste your time doing that. You know, why waste your time getting 2 alignments, buying coilovers, then selling them, and then not getting your money back for them, or, you know, making your car handle worse? Just leave it stock, man. There's no rush to this, you know? I mean, I built my car for a long time. I mean, there's no rush to get it done. I mean, I'm not even rushing now to get it done. It's been sitting in the garage. I'm really not even in a rush to get it done, because you shouldn't rush your project. I mean, it should take time. It should take, you know, plenty of time and money, and, you know, saving up and doing other things. I mean, I don't have $1 million. That's why, obviously, it's taken me a while to do this. You know, I'm not rich. You know, if I need to buy this, I gotta buy that. You know, I don't have any money to invest in my car. So, yeah, hopefully this video is not too long. Trust me, it probably was well worth your time, maybe, hopefully. But yeah, Alright guys, well, if you got any more video topics, of course, leave them below. Questions, comments, concerns, you know me. I don't give, let it pop. So, alright guys, peace out.